What's going on? It's your boy Sremmurd at Sremmurd's Domain on Twitter. Mike Will Made It is finally releasing his next album, Ransom 2, on March 24th. This is an album that he's been talking about, it feels like for like a year. We've heard rumors about him working with this person and this person. We heard that it was going to come out at this date and this date. And it just feels like it's been prolonged. And so now we finally have a concrete release date. And the track listing also surfaced. So that's what the majority of this video is going to focus on. Talking about the track listing and just breaking down some of the guests, some of the songs, what I'm most anticipating and all of that. But before I get into that, there's something that I found on the cover art for Ransom 2. Now, if you're a huge Mike Will fan and you knew this already and you're going, duh, Sremmurd, I'm sorry, because I didn't know that Ransom was an acronym. It's an acronym for Releasing All New Songs Orchestrated by Me. Obviously, it's a little bit of a cheat because you have to buy me in there and there's no B in Ransom, but for the most part, it works. If you had told me that Ransom was an acronym and to figure out what it stood for, I would have been like, what? There was no way I could have possibly came up with that. So 10 points for Mike Will Made It. I'm awarding him that. That's a Harry Potter reference if you didn't catch it. Anyways, let's talk about the track listing. So on this album, you're going to get a total of 17 songs. There's an outro. The intro has Big Sean. It's called On the Come Up, and it's the next single that was released. Sounds pretty nice. Aside from that, the majority of the music that I'm noticing from the track listing has a lot of bigger names. Ransom 1, it felt like it was more of an Atlanta-based project. It had artists that were on the come up, that were buzzing at the time, and you know, some big names as well. But I feel like Ransom 2 kind of steps it up to where it's like the majority of it is big names, and there's a couple other artists, you know, that are under Mike Will, that are close to Mike Will. Aside from that, though, it's all like big names, and I think that's a good thing, because you want to attract the people, and people are attracted to big names. And so you have Big Sean, you have Young Thug, you got Future and Pharrell and Lil Wayne and Chief Keef, Sremmurd, all of these different names that are going to help people see that and want to check out Ransom 2. At this point, you might be wondering, okay, Srm, what song or songs are you most anticipating from the album? That's a good question. The biggest one out of everything that sticks out like a sore thumb is Perfect Pint, featuring Kendrick Lamar, Gucci Mane, and Sremmurd. Anytime that you have a weird combination like that, it just stands out. I like that on the 2 records that Mike Will has with Kendrick Lamar, that we're getting him, like Kendrick, working with Atlanta artists. Even if they're not in the studio together, you still have like the Buy the World record have Future on it. And so I'm interested to hear what Kendrick is saying on this record, Perfect Pint, and how he meshes with Gucci and Sremmurd. I just think that it's a good thing. It's really cool that Kendrick, who doesn't work with a lot of people, is open to do verses for Mike Will. I think it also helps that Mike Will is under Interscope, and you know, I think there might be like a little bit of influence there. But nonetheless, that is probably the biggest song that I'm anticipating. There's other records on here that kind of stand out. Faith, which is Lil Wayne and Hoodybaby. Anytime that you have Lil Wayne on the project, I'm going to want to listen to that song. So I don't know what to expect, but I'm always anticipating to hear some new Wayne, especially because now it's kind of like he's it's kind of like a mix match type of thing, where some verses are going to be really good and some verses are not. So it's like, what are we getting on Faith? The other record that stands out, trying to pick one. You got Pharrell on the project. Pharrell, who doesn't put out music enough. I know he's super busy doing everything that he does, but it's always a pleasure to see Pharrell's name. So he's on a song called Aries. And that's another one. And then there's 2 solo songs on here, and I think I'm anticipating them just because of the titles. You got Razzle Dazzle featuring Future. Who would have thought that a song called Razzle Dazzle would be a Future record one day? That's just, it's out of the box. And then the other one is Swae Lee, and he's on a record called Bars of Soap. So those are just like the ones that stand out to me. And so now you might be asking yourself, well, sir, you talked about the ones that you're looking forward to. What songs aren't you looking forward to? Good question. The first single was Gucci on My, and it featured 21 Savage, YG, and Migos. Anytime that you have that combination, you think, oh, this is going to work. YG and 21 Savage have a record together that sounded pretty good from last year, so naturally it's going to sound good now, right? Wrong. I don't want to get too into it because I plan on talking about this more extensively in the review for Ransom 2, but just know that record is bad and I really didn't like it, so that is probably the one record so far that I really I'm just not a fan of it. The other record that I can think of that I'm really not anticipating is probably Hasselhoff, and that features Lil Yachty. Not a Yachty fan. I'm open to it though. If it sounds good, hey, it might end up being like that guilty pleasure record. The one where I'm like, well, I like this song, but do I want to tell the world that I like this song? Like, he has the Sprite commercials, and whatever song is in there, that got stuck in my head. I seen the damn Sprite commercial, and then for like hours on it, I was just humming that melody in my head. I was like, damn it, Lil Yachty, damn it. I'm just not a fan. But like always, I'm willing to give him a chance. He might have a banger, a really good song with Hasselhoff, so who knows? I think as far as track listing talk goes, that's pretty much all. I mean, you also have Trouble and Problem on a song. You got 2 Chainz. You got Young Thug I mentioned. And so it looks like Ransom 2 is going to be a really good release. Obviously, we won't know until it actually comes out on March 24th, but I'm optimistic, and I'm hoping that the artists that are on this project gave Mike Will the best that they can do. So those are my thoughts on the track listing from Mike Will Made It's Ransom 2 out March 24th. I'll include the track listing in the description section so you can check that out. And then talk to me in the comment section. What songs are you anticipating most? What songs are you not anticipating? Do you think Mike Will is going to deliver a great body of work? Talk to me in the comment section below. Then, if you're so kind, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at Sremmurd Domain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.